What is up, guys? This is Linthio coming at you with a card discussion today about something that came out in Clash of Rebellion that I feel has been overlooked a little bit, and it's something that is not necessarily busted or ridiculous, but it's something that you might want to consider looking at because it's a pretty interesting card. So the card is a quick play spell card called Pianissimo. Now, something very clever to note, I used to play piano, and I kind of still do, and Pianissimo is a musical dynamic for low level of volume, which is quite interesting considering what the effect does. So the effect is, it is a quick play spell card, and the effect reads as follows. Target one face-up monster you control. This turn, that face-up monster's original attack becomes 100. Also, the face-up monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. It's strange that this card isn't technically a part of the Forbidden archetype or Forbidden art, simply because it fits kind of perfectly into Forbidden Lance, Forbidden Dress, Chalice, so on and so forth. It's a very nice way to protect your monsters because it protects them from two angles. The fact that if you've got it in defense position, for example, or you've got a deck that centers around a certain monster like, I don't know, Herald of Perfection, Herald of Ultimateness, or other decks that just really focus on that one card being on the board, in defense position as well, this allows you to protect it because it can't be destroyed by battle and it can't be destroyed by card effects, which is a very big thing. The only decks that can really get over that is things like Satella Knights that can use Trigger to bounce everything back because it doesn't target. Pianissimo is a card that I think has gone under the radar, and I think it's one that people could technically start looking at and seeing if it would actually be useful in their deck. The immediate rivals to this card is Forbidden Lance and Forbidden Dress. Mainly though Forbidden Lance, because Lance is used a lot more than Dress. Pianissimo versus Lance is a interesting tie-up because there are two uses that Lance has as opposed to this one very linear use. Lance can be used aggressive or defensive, and what I mean by that is you can use the defensive in the fact that you are using it on your own monster to protect yourself from a spell or trap. With the offensive Lance, it means that you can attack into your opponent's monster, damage step, Lance their monster to lose 800 attack and effectively beat over it if it goes through. With Pianissimo, you can only target your monster. Your monster's original attack becomes 100. If you could target your opponent's monster and make its original attack 100, that would be pretty ridiculous. And I think everyone would use it just for that because it would completely trump Forbidden Lance. But nevertheless, you can only target one of your monsters, and it's actually not that bad. Even if you have an attack monster and you really need to keep it alive and it goes to 100 attack and then it can't be destroyed by battle, but you're going to take a fair bit of damage, if you can afford to do that, it's not too bad. Pianissimo is a card that I think is actually really good, and I think that people should really give it credit and at least have a look at it if you want to search for some type of defensive cards in your deck. If you do run Forbidden Lance and you do run other things like that that would defend against your opponent's effects, then maybe you might want to consider Pianissimo. Another interesting thing, in a machine deck, you could technically summon a machine, Pianissimo, and machine dupe, because this monster's attack is now original 100 and it fills the requirements for machine dupe. Now that would be pretty stupid, right? But nevertheless, there's a lot of gimmicks you can use with this card, but if we just talk about the meta, I think it's actually not too shabby. So I want to know what you guys think of Pianissimo. Do you think it's a fairly good card, or do you think it's just a little bit of jank and Forbidden Lance and other cards completely outshine it? So as I said, let me know down in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I should catch you guys later.